With more than 100 years history in manganese mining, Ghana Manganese Company Limited is committed to living the values of safety to ensure each worker goes home safe and the mine achieves its vision, maintaining its position as one of the global market leaders in the mining and exporting of quality manganese.
GMC, since its inception in 1995, has grown sustainably with a significant increase in production, from 300,000 tons in 1995 to 3 million tons in 2017. That present significant opportunities and challenges regarding the well-being of our employees and health and safety. We are capable of achieving incident-free operations on the mine. However, I caution everybody about the dangers involved in our operations. Let us all ensure safety compliance and make sure appropriate personal protective equipment.
There are a number of potential hazards and risks to employees' safety whilst working. It's then essential for employees to wear the right safety equipment and follow the necessary safety protocol to protect them. If an accident occurs, an employee wearing the right personal protective clothing can reduce their risk of injury such as broken bones, minor burns, rashes, or cuts.
The human resource, for that matter, GMC employees, are very key, a great stakeholder when it comes to our operations. And for that matter, we want you to protect yourself, and that is why management has endorsed this program for all workers, contractors, and all those who have something to do on the mine. That as from today, entry through gate 28, we want you to take 3 items, 3 PPEs, your hard hat, your reflector jacket, your safety boots, before you will be given access to enter through gate 28. All for one purpose: your protection, your safety. You are key in the stake of our production. We want you to return home safe and alive. It takes 3 to enter the mine.
Personal protective equipment refers to protective clothing, helmets, goggles, steel-toe cap boots, or other equipment designed to protect the wearer's body from injury.
Just about 3 years ago, as a company, Ghana Manganese Company Limited, decided to have the vision 2020, that is to be a model mine for legal requirements. The legal requirements being that we want to try and implement as much as possible everything that the country has on paper regarding conformities to HSE. Now, that vision is still pending. We're still driving that, and as part of that vision, we thought it wise to have specific aspects that will drive this dream to make it a reality. One of it is conformance to entry requirements. And in Ghana, there is a law that each person has to conform if you are entering a mining company. And one basic one is what we have in LI 21A2, section 559, that talks about PPE usage. Not only that, any equipment that is also entering the mine also need to conform to basic requirements. It's in that regard that we intend to drive this campaign of taking 3 to enter the mine. You cannot just enter the mine, just as you can enter anybody's house as and when you want. You cannot also enter the mine as and when you want. So for us, the first aspect is what is expected of a person entering the mine. And we've come with 3 basic minimum requirements. The first one, the protection of your eye. We all have 2 eyes. When you lose one, there is an imbalance. So it's important that you enter the mine with 2 eyes and leave with 2 eyes. And that is why we're saying that the first one is to protect the eyes that you're entering the mine. The second is visibility. The idea of the visibility is to enable any person working around you to see who is around and how best we can ensure the safety of the person. That is why you have to be seen. And the final one is your safety boot. Every mine has some kind of risk and hazard associated, and your leg should go to the right place. You cannot always calculate where your leg should be. So it is better when you protect your leg. And that is why we're saying that before you enter Ghana Manganese Company Limited access gate, you should have these 3 basic minimum requirements to enable you enter safe and also exit safe. The second requirement has to do with vehicles. In the same vein, we expect every vehicle to see who is doing what at any point in time, and also somebody observing to see that a vehicle is entering. So for visibility, we expect people to use light headlights and also a buggy whip so that you can be seen, and the person using the equipment also need to be safe. And it's a general requirement that you put on your seat belt. So for the vehicles, we expect headlights, we expect a buggy whip, and the user also being in his required PPE, that is the seat belt. We believe that this is the minimum, but it is also a good springboard for us to take off. And also remember that the standard you walk past is the standard you set.
The hazards addressed by protective equipment include physical, electrical, heat, chemical, biohazard, and airborne. Protective equipment may be worn for job-related occupational safety and health purposes. The purpose of personal protective equipment is to reduce employee exposure to hazards that are not feasible or effective to reduce this risk to acceptable levels.
Walkway Juma, Mesre 141 APP and Quajum. Osande yen a yonomni ye hiawan. Na yamba so a hiawan. Intimesre, de biarada, Walkway Juma, 141 APP and Quajuma. Ebusia Santa Yina le shawan. Wahia one a futua, anad wahia one sikana one keka, whatever bois or mano.
Employees who believe PPE is not necessary for their work or who consider it too uncomfortable to wear run the risk of leaving themselves unprotected and vulnerable to occupational injuries. All employees and visitors have a responsibility to their own safety if you find yourself in the confines of Ghana Manganese Company Limited. It is very important for employees and employers to understand the benefit of protective clothing and how to use it correctly. Using PPE and wearing it properly is vital to avoiding unnecessary injury in the workplace. Choosing not to wear PPE can be dangerous, especially when it could save your life. Know that good gears does not protect you if you don't wear it.
I assume full responsibility for this campaign. So I want to encourage everybody to remember that it takes 3 before you enter the mine.
For increased safety, it is of the utmost importance to maintain the best practice of wearing the right protective clothing at all times.